Hi, my name's Shannon and I'm from Cramlington Parish and I'm involved with Journey in Warbirth. This morning's reading is taken from Luke chapter 4 verses 14 to 30. Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, and the news about him spread through the whole countryside. He was teaching in their synagogues and everyone praised him. He went to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and on the Sabbath day he went into the synagogue, as was his custom. He stood up to read, and the scroll of the prophet Isaiah was handed to him. Unrolling it, he found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favour." He then rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of everyone in the synagogue were fastened on him. He began by saying to them, "Today the scripture is fulfilled in your hearing." All spoke well of him and were amazed at the gracious words that came from his lips. "Isn't this Joseph's son?" they asked. Jesus said to them, "Surely you will quote this proverb to me, 'Physician, heal yourself.' And you will tell me, 'Do you hear your hometown what we have heard that you did in Capernaum?' Truly I tell you," he continued, "no prophet is accepted in his hometown. I assure you that there were many widows in Israel in Elijah's time, when the sky was shut for 3.5 years and there was a severe famine throughout the land. Yet Elijah was not sent to any of them, but to a widow in Zarephath in the region of Sidon. And there were many in Israel with leprosy in the time of Elisha the prophet, yet not one of them was cleansed, only Naaman the Syrian." All the people in the synagogue were furious when they heard this. They got up, drove him out of town, and took him to the brow of the hill on which the town was built, in order to throw him off the cliff. But he walked right through the crowd and went on his way. From this passage, I took that people didn't recognise Jesus' gifts because they knew him. Is that something that we do in church? Do we write people off because we know where they come from, or because we know their past? In verses 21 to 27, Jesus spoke to the people in the synagogue. Those people were displeased with what Jesus had said to them, and therefore made him leave the town. Would they have listened if he said something which made them feel good? Is that what we do? Are we less likely to listen to someone and quicker to discount them if they disrupt our way of life? Whether you know a person really well, or maybe you don't know that person at all, we should look past what we think we might already know about that person, or the way they present themselves, because that person you unpredicted may just be the one who God has called to send you a message.